Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Lorna's story. We're going to go ahead and jump the clock ahead a little bit to the following morning. As you, Lorna, you're in your room with Anscombe. It is like 5 in the morning when there's a knock on your door.
Oh, okay. I'm awake, or did this wake me up?
That's kind of up to you.
I'm gonna roll a con save to see how EP she is. If it's higher than a 12, she's already up.
Okay.
Yes, not a natural 20. She woke with the sun, I guess. She's excited or
The
nervous.
sun's not
or
up yet.
both. Oh, she awoke before it. Okay, yeah, so she's, I don't know, idling, probably working in her spell book.
Okay.
So
there is a gentle knock at the door, and you hear a female voice say, Anscombe? Lorna?
Lorna will clamber out of bed. Is Anscombe up, or is he sound asleep?
I will roll for him. He's dozing. Like, it's clear he's, like, you're stirring, woke him up, and he's been, like, just eyes closed, resting since then.
She'll get up. She's more alert than he is, so she'll go to the door and... Yes? She'll call through it as opposed to opening it.
It's Mindy. I'm here. Volker wanted to know if, And she's, like, talking through the door, and it sounds a little awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Can I... Like, could you open the door? This would be way easier.
1 moment!
Okay.
Lorna's gonna really quickly, like... Is there, like, a mirror anywhere?
Yeah.
She's gonna look into it and, press D, get her hair look nice, and, like, smooth out wrinkles. She feels threatened by this pretty woman. And after, like, probably an awkward 20-second pause, she opens the door as naturally as she can be. Like, she didn't just speed run getting ready.
This is a good representation. And that is what she looks like. You can see her.
Oh,
icon.
She is pretty. Oh. She's related to Edward Cullen? Fuck yeah. I know.
We can end the session now.
No! I'm sorry. So Lorna, as casually as she can be, oh, good morning.
Morning. And you notice Mindy is not in the same, like, comfortable clothes that she was in yesterday afternoon when you met her. She's wearing what looks like studded leather armor, and she has a hand axe on her belt. She says, well, is Anscombe awake?
She'll look over her shoulder.
Yeah.
Anscombe.
I'm up. Mindy says, Volker wanted to know if you and your friends wanted to help with the Kanigi Saurian.
What? The what?
Anscombe, you see in your peripheral, he, like, sits bolt upright. Is he... Wait. Us? Mindy, like, looks...
The what?
Your confusion is ignored for the moment as Mindy looks over your shoulder at Anscombe, and she says, yeah, he didn't talk to you about... He sent me over here to gather you if you wanted to. And Anscombe, like, is looking at you, and he says, yes, we absolutely will help.
Help with what?
I'll explain in a moment. And Mindy says, all right, well, the crew normally, we got 5, but just bring, you, yourself, and one more. There's not enough room on the catamaran. And Mindy, like, nods to you, and then she turns to leave, and she says, meet you by the house.
So she walk away?
Yeah, she, like, leaves.
Lorna will shut the door and lean on it. The what?
Kanigi Sarian. It's Orcish for... It roughly translates to fish hunt. It's an old tradition, one I've never been allowed to do before.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's a big deal for you.
It's a big deal. We're gonna go out on the lake, and Pa's gonna perform a ritual, in hopes of... I don't really know.
Because you've never done it before.
Right. From what I've seen, it just looks like they fight water for a while until they find something big, and then that's what they haul it back. Looks like a big shark, kind of, but not. With legs.
Okay. So you want to do this
I
because
really
this is
want
a big
to,
deal
but
that you were in. Yeah, absolutely.
I understand if you don't, we can do something.
No. I want you to do this if that's what you want to do. Am I allowed to help? I wasn't invited.
Yeah,
Well,
you
I guess
were.
I was. Well, yes, but
She told me to pick 3, and you're 2, so it's me, you, and one other.
okay.
Who? Whoa.
I'm sure anybody in the group would want to help, but I don't really understand what would be helpful in this situation, I suppose.
Well, it's probably a fight. I would say we either go with, someone physically gifted or someone magic. So maybe Lilith, or Tier, or Nore. Probably...
Skuln is probably not ideal for this, I suppose.
No, there's nowhere to hide out in the water. Unless...
She would not be in her element. A fish out of water, some might say.
Oh.
I'm sorry. You seem nervous, so
I am, but I appreciate it. Yep. Save the bad puns to Tier, shall we? He does it better than any of us.
It's true. So how about we just pitch it to the group, and if we pick and then they don't want to do it, that's
Right, okay.
that'll solve itself.
Right, let's wake everybody up.
Well, yeah, I just have one question.
Yeah.
Who is she?
She works for Pa.
But you knew each other, right?
Anscom's gonna insight check you right now. He rolled a natural 19.
Well, deception.
Roll it.
I guess.
I guess, yeah. It's a dirty 20. He's not that insightful, unfortunately.
Oh, but he rolled really well.
Yeah.
28.
Okay. What does he
I kind of
get?
want to fail that.
Well, you didn't, so...
I know. Can I choose to fail? Why do I suck?
You can always choose to fail.
Because it just feels... She's a good liar, but... She's pretty obvious. I feel like she's being pretty obvious in this moment.
If you, the player, choose to fail, you...
Why did I choose deception? I choose to fail!
Okay, what does he get?
She's worried. She's, jealous.
Darn.
She's pretty. They knew each other before.
Like, a small smile creeps up on his lips, and he looks down at the floor for a moment, and he says, "She works with Pa. She was a hunter that started living in town a few years ago, and she's good with a blade, so Pa hired her for, well, the Kanigi Visarion, and that's just what they do. Every week he goes out on the lake and, well...
Every week?
Yeah, this is... Okay, I realize you don't know...
Anything.
Yeah, Pa's a fisherman.
I got that.
But most of the good fish meat comes from the lagoon itself. The river fishing is, it's good enough, but the real haul, the real money makers, coming from fighting out on the water. taking out the sea monsters that are out in the lagoon, because there are. And it's real dangerous. Not many rivermen can actually go out on the lagoon and harvest what the lake has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
They say there's a hole in the bottom of the lake that leads to the the other one. The...
Abyss?
No, the one that's all weird and magical.
The Fae?
Yeah, that's the one. And lots of weird sea monsters slip through. They end up here in the lagoon if they fit. And, well,
And if they don't?
they don't come through.
Oh, okay. If they fit through the hole, not the lagoon, I was
Right.
like, oh, how big would that have to be?
Well, the lagoon's pretty big.
Right.
But, yeah, it's not safe to swim in the lagoon. Because,
Right, you told me about that last night.
right. Safer to swim out in the river if you were looking for that. It all feeds in. So, that's where most of my pa makes his money, is out on the lagoon, summoning monsters with the ritual and then killing them.
And then eating them.
Some of them are good eating. I mean,
What happens with the ones that aren't?
they have other bits that are worth selling. That's what the,
Oh, that's true.
yeah. That's what the little tinker shops, that's what they specialize in, from what I know.
I see. So, she's not your type. She says, getting only that from that entire conversation, I guess.
She's like a sister.
Okay. You think she feels the same way?
It doesn't really matter. Look,
I guess.
she's known me when I was not in my best behavior. And I imagine, she probably still thinks the worst of me. And whether she does or not doesn't really matter. She's been
Well,
working with my pa.
She didn't seem to. She seemed genuinely happy to see you. Well, she was like, oh, this guy again, She seemed surprised and happy.
Well, that's good and all, but it doesn't matter to me, really.
Right.
Look,
Is what you're trying to say.
yeah. And frankly,
I get it.
if Pa's asking us to help him with this, whether it be because the rest of his crew is out sick or busy doing other things, or if he wants to give us a shot, I don't care. I want to try.
And we're gonna.
Right, so whether she's there or not, I don't want you to think that I'm wandering.
I wasn't really worried about you. It's just hard to compete with history.
Right, but I'm not interested in her.
I get that. Now I do.
So
I promise.
even if she made a move, like, nothing would happen. You understand?
Yes.
Especially
yes.
since I'm pretty sure you'd probably freeze her solid or something brutal like that.
I mean,
Am I wrong?
I only attack when provoked.
And that wouldn't provoke you.
You should get dressed.
Mm-hmm. Anscombe does. And one by one, you awaken the other members of your party. Some of them more annoyed about being awakened than others.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, Lorna, would Skolna find it rude if she wasn't awoken, or would she prefer that?
I don't know.
'Cause-
The only one who's awake right now is Lilith.
Well, how about instead of awakening everybody, if Lilith's awake right now, we'll just be like, hey, are you interested?
So, like, you go to knock on her door and you hear, like, thumping, like the sounds of feet on wood.
Uh-huh.
It sounds like she's doing calisthenics.
Okay. Right. So, yeah, Lorna would knock.
Yeah.
Do you have a second?
Sure. And she pulls the door open. There's like a sweat running down her face, and she's clearly wearing just like the loose tunic and shorts that she sleeps in. And she's like, "What you need?"
There's a fish ritual. Are you in?
What the fuck does that mean?
She kind of looks helplessly at Anscombe.
We're gonna go out on the lake and fight sea monsters. You want in? Sure. Now?
Well, here you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me get suited. And that's the only
Yeah.
person who's obviously awake.
Yeah, and I figured she would be into it, so we don't even have to bother everybody else. Lorna will like slip a note, like gone fishing,
Okay.
literally under the everyone else's doors. Like,
Uh,
and implicate which area they'll be in if they care to come and find her. But otherwise, I'm sure they'll be happy to sleep in and wander the town.
sure. Hold on. Let me.
Lorna will look at Anscombe and say, "What part of fish ritual did she not get?"
That could mean anything, but I think the ritual part.
The fitual.
Yeah. It only takes Lilith a moment. She comes back out wearing her studded leather, and her twins' short swords are at her belt. She says, "I'm excited for a scrap. I've been practicing.
Stir crazy.
I got some ideas. You'll like them." And she says to Anscombe, and Anscombe's like, "Okay." At least they're not
Mildly
on me.
threatening. Yeah.
Nah, they won't be. Unless you're in the way. Anscombe just like raises an eyebrow.
It'll be fun to show Anscombe's dad what we can do.
He's coming.
Yes. He's leading the endeavor, I suppose you could say.
Huh.
It's a thing they do here, I guess.
She looks confused and over at Anscombe, and he's like, "Yep."
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Magic lake, magic creatures in it. We need to make money.
Fish fight.
And Lilith's like, "It's magic. You know, it's named Sirens Lagoon for a reason. You know, sirens."
There are sirens here?
Oh, yeah.
Aren't they dangerous? I mean,
If you hear
Yeah.
one, yeah, they are.
monsters.
Yep. It's a dangerous
Cool.
place out here.
Then this should be fun.
Probably. If dangerous. That's why I've always
We
wanted
sh-
to do it.
Well, you got your chance to prove yourself. And I
Well.
think we shouldn't say anything about your magic, because he doesn't know you can cast magic yet, until we're in the middle of the fray. And then you summon your sword, and your dad's like, "Oh, my son is so cool."
That's a good
That's how it's
idea.
going to go.
I believe you. I think you've got it. Well, he probably won't say that much. At most, he'll probably
But
be
he'll
like,
think it.
"Whoa," and that's it.
Whoa.
But it'll feel good.
Yeah, it will.
All right, let's head to the house, and he leads the way away from the Lakeside Inn. As you head down the street of the small town towards the house, which is, as described, right by the edge of the lake, you see that in front of the house, you see Bulkrin and Mindy. They are preparing for what you're going to do, and you see that they have a boat that you didn't notice yesterday. Maybe it was moved, maybe it was elsewhere, maybe it's hidden. But it is a large hulled catamaran, which is a boat with two hulls. In this case, one very large, like almost like a deck boat shape, and then it has like a smaller offhand like canoe that just is attached. And you've never seen anything like this. You've never seen a boat shaped like this before. And perhaps that's just exotic, or perhaps you just don't know a lot about boats.
I bet it's both.
But as you're heading down, Bulkrin turns and sees the three of you. "Right. Y'all ready?"
Oh, yes. Definitely. Mage armor on. She flexes her hand.
Remind me what that looks like.
Oh, so her hand is obviously the porcelain material, and it has these blue lines on it that are, when it's not like actively casting magic, they're just blue lines, decorative. But when they are active, the Banasite like lines light up and glow, and they kind of, to encompass her, they kind of trace up her arm, and then kind of like a circuit board where it's just kind of like the lines
Mhm.
connect in like kind of like patterns over the rest of her body, and they flash blue and then kind of dissipate into like so she doesn't always glow when she has mage armor on.
As that happens, Bulkern and Mindy like look at you, and Mindy just goes, "Well, that's fancy looking." And Bulkern like looks at her and says, "Real wizard, right?
Gotta be ready to take a hit.
How you handle up close?"
I've been known to throw a punch.
He seems surprised.
Yeah, she's 5'2", 100 pounds.
He looks over at Lilith, who is in just studded leather and has like the twin blades that she has like a hand on each, and he just goes, "You look right for the job." And then he gets on the boat, and he gestures for all of you two as well. "You can let me know what you think of our ritual."
Of course.
As you all pile on to his ship, as soon as you're all on the boat, suddenly it's as though the ship just begins to drift out into the water. And for a moment you don't realize how, but you see that he has his hands forward and he's concentrating on a spell of some kind.
Ooh, nice. And get any indication by somatics?
Roll an Arcana.
Okay. 18.
He's cast Gust of Wind, but you never saw him do it.
Innate magic.
Maybe. Or just he's subtle about it. Or maybe it's an item. You don't know. Anyway, as the small sail on the catamaran fills and the boat begins to pick up speed, you finally get a view of Siren's Lagoon, the big lake, so famously named for the sirens that reside in it and also the towns nearby. It is beautiful out here. The lake itself is calm. The waters gently part as this boat carves through them, heading out into the center. The lake is almost deceptively big. As you're sailing out, the small town of Siren's Respite seems to almost shrink and shrink until it's pretty small off in the distance. And it's at this point that Bulkrin lets the sail fold and he closes it and he says, "All right, be ready for a scrap.
Yes.
This might take some time." And he looks over at Anscombe and he says, "You ready?" And Anscombe just nods. "Be ready for anything. There's no knowing what comes." And he sits down. And as he does, he pulls out a small satchel that immediately you get the smell of like sage and dried leaves fill your nostrils. As he opens the satchel, he reaches into it and crushes something with his hand and then spreads it out, casting it out in front of him out into the water. And it's like this fine green and brown powder just casts out and then catches in the wind and begins to swirl out away from the ship. Then he reaches into the bag and he pulls a small glass bell. And he begins to ring it every few moments. It's a very subtle and quiet ring. It's not obnoxious or loud or harsh. You suddenly realize it's a crystal bell. And the tone that it creates is beautiful, but specific. And please roll me Arcana.
Okay. Natural 20. 20.
The tone of this bell rings on a frequency that you immediately understand. If a sound could sound like anything, it sounds attuned to the Fae.
It's like a divination rod, like a divining rod type of thing.
Exactly. And as
tuning fork. That's
there it is. That's the word. Mm-hmm. He rings it, and he waits a few minutes, and then he rings it again. On the other side of the boat, you suddenly hear a... And you see Mindy has taken a bite out of, like, a dried beef ration.
Mhm.
Might be a minute.
Lorna's never done this before, obviously, but she's pretty well read. And she kind of understands what he's doing. Does she think she could help in any way?
You immediately recognize that his magic, what he's performing, is not arcane in nature. It is natural. Which...
It's like a druid adjacent,
Yeah.
or potentially druid.
or ranger adjacent.
Yeah, it's not in her wheelhouse, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not... It doesn't use the same somatics at all. You believe you could probably accomplish what he's doing if you had a lot of time to craft a spell for it. But
he's already got it figured out.
You don't think you could help him.
Okay.
Please roll me a d6.
Okay.
1.
A 1.
Okay. Roll me a d4.
A 2.
As he performs this ritual, and the sounds of the bell clash out over the water. The water suddenly, it's incredibly still, it suddenly stirs, as if on one side of the catamaran it begins to swirl and raise. And then on your side of the catamaran, right closest to you, another swirling and raising occurs. As that happens, suddenly the catamaran is shoved to the left, and then back to the right. And as that happens, the swirling of waters suddenly, they climb up, building themselves up higher and higher until they're well over 10 feet high above the catamaran. And you find yourself looking at what you, with your proficiency in Arcana, recognize as water elementals. And they seem angry.
Oh.
We're rolling initiative, please.
Oh.
There's one here, and there's one here. And each one is well over 10 feet high.
I rolled 6. I was like, what? Hmm?
Okay. Lilith goes first. She looks at these climbing, and she looks to you, and she says, this looks dangerous. And you hear Bulkern, as he's ringing the bell, he says, it is. Right. She draws both short swords, and she leaps into action. Lilith will dart out towards the edge of the catamaran, and this water elemental is like right off the edge of the boat. So Lilith is going to perform what she can. What does she do here? That's a good question.
What would Lilith do?
What would Lilith do? She's going to consider the creature in front of her and recognize that it cannot be tripped. And instead is just going to make a pair of short sword attacks. Okay. She slashes at it, the short sword cutting into the watery form, and as it does, her first strike deals 9 points of slashing damage. It is a magical weapon, so it seems to deal full damage. And then she will slash again with her extra attack. And it does... I rolled exactly the same hit, so that hits.
Woo.
Okay, that is much more damage. That is... 15 points of slashing damage. And then she will bonus action slash again. That also hits. So her short sword just whoosh, 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 like slashes through the form of this water elemental, and you hear this strange from the elemental. You speak primordial, so you understand.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Oh,
Common, draconic, elvish, infernal, undercommon, tam, speaks, primordial.
Sorry. No
No
one
worries.
knows what it says. Uh, okay. She hits it again for 10 damage. That's Lilith's turn. She remains in melee with that water elemental. That water elemental is going to react by slamming Lilith, and it like surges up over the edge of the catamaran. The whole boat rocks toward it as it does. Okay. Lilith dodges the first strike. It's going to try again. Dodges the second strike, and frustrated, the water elemental was then going to surge forward. I require a dexterity save from
Oh shit.
you and Lilith.
Oh boy.
Oh no, it's strength save. It's a strength saving throw.
Oh. Oh, my dex is barely better than my strength.
Well,
And come help. I rolled a 2.
okay. The water elemental suddenly occupies your space. You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as you and Lilith are both engulfed by the water elemental. It's like being in a whirling tornado of water, and it is disorienting and it hurts because it's crushing you at the same time. But I don't think that even touches the temp HP that you had. So that's
I mean, it halves the temp HP, but it still we still have some.
right. Okay, it's now Bulkrin's turn.
Help me, Bulkrin.
He sets the crystal bell down, sees the two of you engulfed by this water elemental, and he will step here, opposite it, and he pulls an enormous bow off of his back, and he's going to shoot an arrow into it. His first attack misses, but only just barely. Second one hits. This longbow seems remarkable in that it's not a longbow. It's not like Tier's bow. You see that its limbs, even through the water washing over your face, the limbs of the bow are incredibly stout. And it's clear Bulkrin is using a lot of strength to pull back the string.
Does he have sick guns?
He does.
big
He's
arms.
very
Yeah.
strong. This bow appears to use strength to fire instead of dexterity.
Nice.
And it deals a lot. It deals 15 points of piercing damage to the water elemental, which it appears to be magical. The other water elemental's turn. It surges forward towards Bulkrin and Mindy, and it's going to make a slam attack on Bulkrin. It hits. Okay, for 14 points of bludgeoning damage. And then it's going to swing again. And it hits for 10 points of bludgeoning damage. Then it is going to surge forward and attempt to engulf Mindy and Bulkrin.
Oh boy.
Bulkrin succeeds. Mindy succeeds. Okay.
Oh, it's just the two newbies.
They manage to get away, like they back off from it and force
They're
themselves
familiar
out of the
with
water.
this.
They fought water elementals before, it's clear. Anscombe's turn. Anscombe sees you swirling around in the water, and he's going to reach out and grab you and yank you out. He's going to make a strength save to try and
Thanks,
assist
babe.
you. He totally succeeds.
He
You
weighed,
are
like nothing.
you are unceremoniously yanked out of it and thrown to the prow of the catamaran.
I should have expected that.
Water. Yeah. And then Anscombe will action surge, and the Dragonbone Longsword appears in his hands. He flourishes it around his hand, and he's going to slash at the water elemental that you guys are beating up, in an attempt to get Lilith out of it as well. Okay, that hits. Hang on. Okay. I'll just use this for the damage because it's much easier. Versatile.
Oh, good roll. Fuck.
18 points of damage. The water elemental appears to be immune to fire, which makes sense.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, I'll give it that.
But it does still take, let's see, 15 points of slashing damage. The Dragonbone Longsword cleaves into it, and you see just little mounts of steam out of it as that happens. Anscombe's second attack, he will swing again. That hits. We roll versatile. Okay, that's 16 points of slashing damage. Alright, that's Anscombe's turn. Lorna, you're out of the elemental. You didn't take any further damage. What do you do?
She's like a soaked rat on the deck of this catamaran, like coughing and sputtering because she, you know, when you like swallow water on the way in and you're just like, eh.
Yes.
She wasn't expecting it.
Mouthful
So,
of seawater, just
dignity gone. She looks up at Anscombe and says, "Thank you." She's gonna cast haste on him.
Oh, you haste Anscombe. Okay.
Oh yeah. She's
Noted.
just gonna stay back here.
Okay. It's now Mindy's turn. She pulls the hand axe off of her belt, and from her back she pulls out a shield. She will swing the hand axe at the water elemental that has Lilith in it, because they need it to drop her.
I'm just a quick question. Did the Volcrin and Mindy seem impressed by Anscombe's
Roll
sword?
insight.
Insight is 15.
Mindy doesn't really seem to pay much attention, but Volcrin did seem impressed.
Yeah, Mindy's like, we're in the middle of something. But that's Volcrin's boy.
Yes, Volcrin is clearly paying attention. Mindy deals 8 points of slashing damage. It is halved because it's not magical. And then she swings again. That misses. She will bonus action Shield Master Shove. And that misses. Okay, Mindy rolled really bad. It's now Lilith's turn. She needs to make a con save as she is currently engulfed in water. She succeeds. She is restrained. That being said, she's also angry, so she's going to make attacks.
Yeah.
First attack with disadvantage. Here, I'll just use her character sheet. That's faster. I'm trying to get through these quick.
Uh-huh.
Because who knows how long we'll be here. Not me. Attack, disadvantage.
Still a good roll.
That hits, absolutely. Okay. 12 points of damage. And then she will attack again.
Ooh, yeah.
Lilith cannot be stopped by water elementals, it appears. Okay. Another 12 points of damage. The water elemental must make a con save when its damage is taken. It succeeds. Okay. Lilith will use her bonus action attack to slash again. All at disadvantage. Oof.
Oh, natural 20 to a 2.
That's unfortunate.
That's sad.
Yep. A 10
like wasting
does
natural
not...
20.
Yeah, that's how it goes. A 10 does not hit. So you see, like, as she's trying to slash at it, the first two do cleave through the watery form of this elemental. The last one, you actually see the short sword cut out of the water and just woof, like, through the air. Just a little too zealous. Okay, this water elemental with Lilith in it is going to retreat out into the water with Lilith still in it.
Oh, shit.
And it's going to make a slam attack on Lilith,
Uh-oh.
which has advantage.
Oh. Fuck.
Yep. It's not happy about what just happened to it.
It started it.
17. I think that does hit. No, it does not. Lilith's got dual wield.
Fuck.
Also, these should be private for the elemental. Not that it really matters. 18 to hit. Also misses.
Oh, fuck.
But I do need another strength save from Lilith as it tries to crush.
You're so strong.
She succeeds. She takes half damage.
Oof.
Okay, she takes... damage. Lilith takes 11 points of damage halved, so she takes 5. She's doing okay. She doesn't look very hurt at all. And the water elemental is going to begin to submerge.
No. Bad water elemental.
Volkrin is going to dart over to this edge. He does take an attack of opportunity from the other water elemental, which does hit, so he gets, bam, just slammed on the back as he runs over. Let me see if it... damage. Go ahead. Let's see. Volkrin takes 12 points of damage. He seems undisturbed. Like, he's hurt, but he's not halved yet or anything. And he draws the bow back, and he's going to make another bow attack on that water elemental. That is a 19, which for Volkrin, that definitely hits. Okay. Rolling damage. Okay. This water elemental, as it is sinking into the water, you see Lilith's face as she's struggling just goes right underneath the surface of the water, and then the water elemental just seems to diffuse into its component water as it is killed. And then Lilith just like resurfaces in that moment.
Fuck.
The other water elemental is going to climb up onto the surface of the catamaran. As it does, I need everybody on the boat to make a dex save.
Uh-oh.
Anscombe succeeds.
I rolled a 5.
Mindy crits. You failed?
Yeah.
And Vulcan fails. Okay. You are prone.
He's already kind of prone.
Oh, you actually fall off the boat because you're on the prow.
Oh, wee!
Yeah, you are in the water.
Fuck.
What's your athletics?
0?
Roll athletics, please.
Shit. I drown off the side of the boat. 18.
Oh, you're fine. You slip off and now you're
water.
just treading water. You're fine.
Yeah.
Volkrin goes prone. Anscombe and Mindy are fine. The water elemental is now on the surface. It wanted to bash the shit out of somebody that falls prone, but Volkrin is a little bit too far with Anscombe and Mindy in the way, so it's going to instead split its
in the
attacks
water.
up. Yeah, you're nowhere. It's not going to be able to get to you. It doesn't have that fast of movement on land. It is a hit on Mindy. Mindy gets beamed for 18 bludgeoning damage.
Oof.
Anscombe gets hit for a natural 20. Okay.
Oh, it crits him?
Yep.
Ah!
16.
My boy.
Anscombe takes 30 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ah! Fuck.
And that's its turn.
Whaps him in the face.
Yep.
Good thing he's a speedy boy.
Anscombe is hasted.
Uh-huh.
He's going to express his displeasure at being...
Oh, did you add his +2 to AC? For
It natural
haste?
20'd.
Okay, that's true. Yes.
It does not matter. Anscombe... Oh yeah, I'm just gonna use this fucking... attack. Normal. He hits with a 15. Versatile. -6. 15 points of slashing damage to this fresh elemental. He slashes again. He hits. Versatile. Normal. -5. 16 points of slashing damage. That was his action. Now for the hasted action attack. He just begins wailing on this thing, one after the other after the other. But he misses.
Oh, bud.
Yep. That's how it goes. Hold on. Let me see. Does he have... Okay. With his bonus action, he looks to you in the water, and he casts Misty Step. He suddenly teleports next to you.
Oh, hello.
New trick. And then he
Yeah.
uses his hasted movement. Do you resist him picking you up?
No.
He
She's
collects...
used to being thrown around by him.
Yeah, he collects you and then gets back up on the boat. And you are now
Jesus.
back on the surface of the boat.
Thank you.
He's still, like, he's hasted, so he's just a little vibrating, and he says, no problem. That's his turn. It's now Lorna. It's now your turn. You're back on your feet.
This might be stupid. She's gonna...
Great.
The wings pop out. They unfurl behind her, and she
Okay.
like, leaps off this side of the boat.
Oh,
And
it's gonna hit you.
She's gonna flank it. She's looping around it.
Okay.
She's staying within its vicinity.
Oh, I see. So
She's not like...
you're 5 feet up.
Yes.
All right, you're flanking.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Shocking grasp.
You have advantage. It's made of water.
Oh, well, I also have flanking.
You have
Hooray, hurrah.
advantage from both.
26.
Yeah, that hits.
And that is decent. 13.
13 points of damage. You notice the lightning seems to do more than you expected it to.
Hooray!
So...
She sticks both her palms against the surface and channels like electricity through it, and it's like a light show.
As the lightning like sends itself through the water elemental, you see like the strange pseudopod like limbs of water extending off the elemental suddenly like fully extend as all of the water suddenly moves in strange ways, and the elemental just makes a horrible noise.
I was gonna do that, but Lilith was in the other one.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that to her.
Is that your turn?
Yes.
All right, it's now Mindy's turn. Mindy is going to attack with advantage because you are flanking. It's already hit, and it still hits. Okay. Okay, that's 12 points of slashing damage. Halved, because it's not magical. But then she swings again.
In the game, Mindy.
She doesn't have a magical axe. What do you want from her?
Magical
That's a crit.
Oh, okay. I guess I forgive you.
Okay, so that's 21 points of slashing damage, half for 10. Which is not bad, considering a mundane weapon. That's all she will do. Lilith.
Lilith's just like, fuck, treading
Lilith
water
is gonna
over
roll on athletics. She's fine. She swims back at half speed, but she makes it back to the edge of the boat. She's just in range to slash at it, so she will do so.
She got into the boat again?
Yeah, she climbed back
Okay,
up.
good.
She rolled a 26 on her athletics.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, what am I doing?
Your best.
Yeah, that's for sure. You are flanking, so she has advantage.
You're welcome, guys.
She crits.
Fuck yeah.
This plus 4, plus
The other water
23. Okay, she attacks again. And damage plus 4. 12 points of slashing damage. Okay. She will bonus action attack again. She's kind of a blender.
She's made of knives.
Yes. That just hits. Damage. Okay. Another 13 points of slashing damage. This water elemental is deconstituted into water that slumps down over the side of the catamaran. And the combat is over.
Lorna's just left, like, hovering there. Okay. Was that what we were summoning?
Fulcrum just shakes his head as he stands back up.
Oh, Okay. She'll touch back down onto the boat.
That was only the beginning. There will be
Oh,
more.
great. Lorna preemptively goes over to Anscombe and kind of like props him up and ends concentration on the haste.
Ugh.
Yeah, sorry.
It's always worth it, but oh,
That new trick was really cool.
thanks. I thought it would be really handy if I could, teleport. And it
And it
was.
was.
And
All right.
Volkern is like looking at you and he says, "You can fly."
Uh, Tattoo.
That's cool, Mindy says from the other side of the boat.
Yeah, do you want to see it? She's
Yeah.
really proud of this tattoo. She like shrugs, you know, moves things aside so they can kind of like get a better look at
Yeah, like Mindy
what it
looks
looks
at the
like.
whole tattoo and she's like, "Oh, that's cool. It like comes off your back to be wings."
Yeah.
That's that's and she like you get the impression she's about to swear and she glances up at Volkern and she says,
Mhm.
"That's freaking awesome."
Lorna looks chuffed, positively. She'll
Uh,
actually, well, after, getting some praise, she'll look at Bulker and say, "Are you all right?"
I'm fine. Had worse. And as he says that, he is like, you see blue light is glowing under his fingertips. As he runs it over his shoulder, he's clearly
Oh.
casting Cure Wounds on himself.
And she'll look at Anscombe. How about you? You took a pretty big hit to the face.
Yeah, is my nose still on straight? And it's a
Is
little
it?
broken.
I don't know how to fix that.
uh, Anscombe will, like, go to his bag to get a potion, and Volkern says, "I will do so." And he just puts his hands on Anscombe's face and casts Cure Wounds.
That's it.
Yeah, basically. It's pretty painful sounding, and you see Anscombe's face just, ugh. But he fixes the wound.
Hmm.
Uh, as that happens, Mindy, like, bumps you, and she says, "Do you want to see my tattoo?"
Yes.
She pulls, like, the sleeve of her studded leather armor up, and you see that her entire right arm has a massive, dappled, like, sleeve tattoo where at the top of it is a symbol with a star with feathers and a crown around it. And then it seems to, like, expand out into what looks like almost like an angel, like, attacking from her hand.
Uh-huh.
It's a very brutal looking tattoo, but you recognize the symbol of Melisandre on her shoulder.
Oh. Um, her eyes flash gold. She's seeing if it's magical or if it's mundane.
It's a mundane tattoo.
Okay. They recede back to non-gold. It's beautiful.
Thanks. I got it for my birthday when I was 15.
Lorna like tries to refrain and manages to succeed probably to say 15. She does not say that. She wants to. She's shook. Wow. Um.
She smiles wide, like bangs, like just parting her lips all the way, and she just, yeah.
This isn't really a tattoo, but she'll point to the moon on her neck.
She like squints her eyes and looks at it, and she says, "What is that?"
It's a little moon, I think.
I mean, I see that, but it's not a tattoo. And she
No,
like
Luminous gave it
reaches
to
out
me.
and she like scratches at it with her fingertip.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, I got it from Luminous.
What do you mean?
She gave it to me.
You're blessed?
Yeah. I guess you could say that.
She's rolling an
I
insight check.
You have to roll persuasion?
She rolled a 1. She just goes, "Yeah, sure, okay."
No. Unfortunately, it's not really something I can demonstrate, but I will say that you have to really fuck up and then make up for it to get something like this.
I fuck up a lot, so I mean, I haven't gotten anything aside from some
Eh.
bruises.
You really have to fuck up.
Okay. As like you're having this conversation, Bulkern has sat back down, and you hear the ding-ding-ding as he
Right.
continues the ritual.
Lorna's like trying to find a way to convey that she like lit a druid's grove on fire and killed two people, like, but like realizes that's probably not a good look, and then just doesn't pursue that any further.
Probably not. Yeah. Hold on. Let me roll the heal for Anscombe because I never did that. Okay.
She shows off Anscombe's tattoo to Mindy as well, the one that matches hers, her hand, I
Yeah.
guess you could say.
When Mindy sees it, she's like, "I never thought you'd be the kind to get marked up." And Anscombe's like, she had a good argument.
I did. It makes
Yeah,
him more
you.
powerful.
Mindy seems. She takes in the tattoos with like a look of almost like just surprise. And when she sees one on Anscombe, mostly like she looks genuinely shocked. But also, she's taking in the artwork and like how well they are, and she seems a little bit a little jealous.
Oh,
But as that happens, you suddenly hear "enough" from Bulkern as he's continuing the ritual. Sorry, boss. You are no longer flying, so or you're no longer suspended, I assume. So
no, the wings go back in. They're not out unless they're actively being used.
Lilith is going to use second wind.
Oh, wise decision.
Let me go ahead and find that. Here it is.
Lorna will pull her staff of replenishment. Like she opens her bag of holding and then just whoop, the staff comes out, and she's gonna get the third level spell slot back. Actually, okay, clarification. So I can replenish up to a cumulative 5 levels.
Uh-huh.
If I use it to replenish my third, do I lose out on all 5 levels?
Yes. You can only use
She
it
like,
once per short
I see.
rest.
So
Or
she
per day.
starts to take it out and thinks maybe I should use another spell first to at least add up to 5, and then pushes it back in.
Okay. As Lilith like basically just flexes and then crouches, you see that the bruises that were on her neck and the side of her face seem to vanish. So that was rough.
Yeah,
What were those?
water elementals, I believe.
Is that those aren't fish?
No, I think the ritual maybe agitated them.
Oh.
That's not what we're out here for, is what I've gathered.
As you say that, Bulkern just says, "No, not at all. So, just be patient. More will come." Roll me a d6, please.
Okay.
5. Okay. Roll me a d2.
Yeah, I just had to figure out where it was again. 2.
Okay. All right. As he is sitting there performing the ritual, 10 minutes pass. And then suddenly, with your passive perception, you spot a black fin cut the surface of the water, maybe 40 feet away.
Lorna nudges Anscombe. Fish?
Oh, that's something. Hey, Pop! And he points. Volkern finishes the ritual, like he sets the bell down, and he pulls his bow out, and he says, Aklut.
She looks at Anscombe for help.
Anscombe looks at you, and he just... Big, orca monster thing?
Okay.
Just be ready. And Anscombe has to make a Wisdom saving throw.
What? Yeah, magic?
Yeah, it has magic.
Uh-oh. Fuck, I was like expecting it to just bite.
Nope. He fails.
It's really rude.
He takes 9 points of psychic damage suddenly. As you just, his face just, ugh. Okay. And as that happens, suddenly, the Auklet, whatever it is, reveals itself as its face seems to emerge from the water. An unsettling orca face appears. As that happens, I need you to also make a wisdom save.
Aw. 25.
Okay, yeah, you
Begone,
succeed.
begone, thought.
You do take half damage, so...
Oh, come back, thought.
Okay, you take 12 points of psychic damage, half, so you take 6.
Oh, okay. I still have 2 temporary hit points left.
But in that moment, we are beginning combat.
Hooray.
So please roll Ish.
Hopefully I rolled better than I did last time. Barely, but I did. I'm still second to last, though.
As combat begins... Oh. Let me go ahead and get the tunes going. Right before Anscombe can go, the Auklet takes a legendary action
Uh-oh.
and sinks into the water
Fuck.
and relocates. Anscombe is going to, like, he leans over the edge of the boat, sword in hand. Where to go? Huh? And Volkrin says, wait, it'll come. It always does.
Is this what we're here for?
Volkrin nods.
Okay. Lorna was wondering if she should blow her load or not.
Anscombe is going to hold an action to attack. Yeah, that's what he does. It's now the Auklet's turn. It suddenly surges up over the edge of the boat and is going to attack Mindy because she's close to that side. Hold on. Okay, that is a dirty 20 to hit, which does hit. As it bites.
Did I prepare silvery barbs? No, because I'm a dipshit. Sorry, go on.
As it appears and attacks, Mindy needs to make a charisma saving throw.
She's so charming.
She succeeds. But she does take the damage from the bite. Mindy takes 17 points of damage.
Ouch.
The Auklet, having made itself known, looks as its bite, like, chomps into Mindy, and then it begins to recede, the teeth tearing through the flesh. It looks at all of you, and Lilith needs to make a wisdom save.
Oh, no.
Lilith fails. So Lilith takes some psychic damage, and she's frightened.
No.
Lilith takes 9 points of psychic damage and is afraid of the Auklet. I wonder if that's... Here it is. The Auklet is then going to... Okay, she succeeded, so it can't just get a free escape. So it stays right here. Doesn't move. It's now Mindy's turn. Mindy is like... reaches down to her leg and she's like, fuck, ow! And she's going to slash at the thing with her hand axe. Which does hit. And it deals 11 points of slashing damage. And then she swings again. Which misses. And that's Mindy's turn. Mindy's going to stay right there, but she will use her bonus action to second wind. There's a bunch of fighters on this boat.
Okay.
Okay. And then it's now Lilith's turn. Lilith is frightened. She cannot get closer to the fucking Aquat. So instead she will draw her own longbow, which she shakily, like, knocks an arrow, and she says, I don't like this game! She's going to make an arrow attack. Oh, it's a disadvantage. I gotta roll it again. Well, it missed already, so never mind. She will attack again. That's an 11 to hit. That also misses. Okay. It seems as though whatever the Auklet did to Lilith got to her. Lilith is unnaturally shaky. Lorna, it's your turn.
Oh. Okay. Well, he said this was the thing they were here for, so she's gonna go all in. She is going to take her porcelain hand and like thump it on the center of her chest and cast Guise of the Golem. So from that like center point, like that, the porcelain encases her, basically.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
And she uses that as a bonus action because that is her blessing from Luminos. Mindy, it's real. How dare you, Mindy?
Okay.
And she is going to. Do I think I can get around to the other side if I fly?
It's like half in the water, but you could probably, yeah.
I'm attempting flanking, so
I understand. Okay.
I fly over there. I'm a flying golem creature. And I have an action still because I use that as a bonus action, and I'm going to use Shocking Grasp.
Okay.
With advantage because I'm flanking. 26.
26 hits.
Yeah.
The lightning does not seem as effective as you hoped it would.
Alright. 14. I should have punched it. Right in the face. Right in its whale face.
It's going to use its reaction to tail whip you. In reaction to you striking it, a tail lashes up out of the water and baps you. That's a 24 to hit.
Yes, that does hit.
Okay, hold on. It's 2. 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, 16, and I need to make a concentration check.
For 10, yeah.
Yes, that would be really embarrassing if I fail this. 19.
You succeed. Okay. Yeah, you're good. Okay. It's now Bulkern's turn. He's going to draw an arrow and attack it. That's a hit. For 10 points of piercing. And then he will draw another arrow. That's a miss. Okay. He looks out at you over the water and then over at Mindy, and he doesn't have a bonus action, but he has a plan, it seems. Anscombe. Anscombe surges forward. He's going to use you for advantage. Attack.
What I do, I give advantage.
He misses.
Anscombe.
He tries again. He nat 20'd.
Hooray!
Okay, that's correct. The first swing, the Auklet seems to like sink into the water right as Anscombe slashes at it, and right as it re-emerges, he just brings the longsword back and full thrusts right into the creature's mouth, dealing 33 points of damage.
Fuck yeah. And the fire seems to do something?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Doesn't seem to be reduced. Anscombe will... That's all he's got. He doesn't have action surge anymore.
Forgot to give myself 15 temporary hit points.
You fool.
So I'm going to add 16 back. No, I just add 1 back. Right?
Yeah, just add 1
Is that
back.
the math? Alright.
Okay.
No, I have to add 16 back. And then add 15. And then subtract 1 from what I had.
Okay.
So it would have at my...
It's now the Auklet's turn.
I'm looking way better than I was.
You watch as it seems to restore
Uh-oh.
some of its lost health.
Oh, shit.
It whips around to you,
Uh-oh.
and it's going to bite you.
Guess who doesn't have shield prepared because I don't learn from my mistakes.
It's a 21 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need you to make a charisma save.
Okay. Oh, damn it, Lorna. I'm gonna use my Vicar boon. I rolled an 8, so I'm gonna add a D10 to that. Cause yikes. Oops. I didn't. Okay, yes. I rolled an 8.
16?
Uh-huh.
It fails.
Fuck.
You are frightened. You take 16 points of piercing damage
Ow.
and 10 points of psychic damage from the bite.
26?
Yes.
Oh. Uh-oh.
And
That was
roll
half
me
my-
that concentration,
That was
which I
exactly
believe...
half of
Yep.
what I had.
13,
which is a
please.
13. 13 on the die, 16 total.
Okay, you succeed. The Aklet is then going to demand a wisdom saving throw from Anscombe, who succeeds.
Chomp head. Ow. Dick.
Anscombe takes 5 points of psychic damage. He grits his teeth and he says, "This is starting to hurt. Are you alright?"
I've been better.
It's now Mindy's turn. Okay. Mindy raises her hand axe and then suddenly reaches out with her other hand and she casts Inflict Wounds.
Oh shit. Is she a cleric of Belsonder?
Who knows? That hits.
Uh-huh.
There's 3d10 points of necrotic. Oh, that's good. 11... 19 points of necrotic damage to the Aklet. The Aklet is going to use a legendary action and sink into the water.
Can I bop it on the way down?
This movement does not provoke attacks of opportunity, I'm afraid.
Shit.
Yep. I'm sorry, boss. It's sinking.
I'm a
At
little
the end of-
worried now that I'm out here.
Lilith's turn. Lilith looks, and she doesn't see the target that she's frightened of. She will drink a potion as a bonus action, so she can hold her action. Okay, that's 4.
A good idea, Lilith. Do I have a potion?
You should.
I do. I do. I have 3.
Okay, she heals for 8. She moves to this side of the boat, and she has her longbow drawn, holding an attack for it to appear. Your turn, Lorna.
I'm gonna also drink a potion. I think I'm gonna... Do I have to declare what spell I'm gonna cast?
If you're holding a spell, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna cast a ranged one then, because it'll probably go for me, but I can't guarantee it. So I'm going to hold a chill touch as my action, but I'm gonna bonus action drink a potion. So that's 2d4 plus 2.
Yes.
Terrible. 5. That's better than nothing, I guess.
5. Okay. At the end of your turn, before Bulkrin's turn, the follow-up legendary action occurs. The Aklet appears on this side, and it targets Lilith with a bite as it emerges from the water.
But we can release fire,
Lilith,
right?
Lilith can make an attack at disadvantage because she's frightened of it.
So am I.
Yes, you also make a spell attack. She does hit, though.
Does a 17 hit?
A 17 does hit.
Yes.
Okay.
Terrible. 4. I rolled 2 2s.
Well, it does all go through, at least.
Hooray.
And Lilith does 9 points of damage. It then bites Lilith. Let me roll. It has advantage because she's frightened. And Lilith needs to make another charisma saving throw. Because it hits. Lilith's charisma save is a natural 2. Lilith is now paralyzed.
Uh-oh.
She's no longer frightened. It has escalated.
I don't like it when things escalate.
But the damage, it's not a crit on this one, but another attack would be. Okay, she takes 26 points of piercing damage.
Hillbilly sirens were going off in my head.
It's now Bulkrin's turn. Bulkrin puts the longbow away. As he surges forward, he pulls out his own axe. He will, as a bonus action, he heals Lilith some.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. He just says, enough! And Lilith restores 7 hit points. She's still... Lilith is not halved yet, but that was a big hit. And Bulkrin's going to swing the axe. It is a battle axe. It seems like a real, like a much more intimidating one. And with that, he hits. Swings it with both hands. And he deals 14 points of slashing damage to the Aquat. And that's his turn. Oh, he's got another attack, sorry. Ah, it's a natural 2. Alright. So now Anscombe's turn. He runs here.
Just running back and forth across the
Yeah,
boat.
for real. And he's going to slash at the Aquat with his longsword. Natural 2. Again.
20.
Okay, and then he hits. So that's 10 plus... 16 plus... So 20 points of damage total.
How's it looking?
It's low. It's hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And he will swing... No, he missed the first one. Bonus action. He doesn't have anything else. That's his turn. The Aquat's turn. It regenerates.
Oh, fuck.
Yep. The Aquat's... You notice now, the Aquat does not have eyes. It seems like where there should be eyes, it's just flat flesh.
Ew.
And as it is facing you, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ah, stop bullying me. 14.
That is a failure.
You're not paralyzing me, are you?
No, you're
Oh,
just
that was a
taking
Christmas
psychic
save.
damage.
Just psychic damage.
You take 19 points of psychic damage.
Oh my god. Ouch. Actual hit points.
And then the Aquat is going to
I'm in
bite
danger.
Lilith, who is paralyzed.
Stop
So
it!
If it hits, it's a crit.
No.
And it did
Yes.
hit.
No. I can't do anything about it from over here.
No, I'm afraid not.
I don't think I could do
Damage
anything
crit.
when I was there.
Lilith takes 53 points.
Oh my god, is she okay?
She is barely alive. She is alive with 3 hit points. The Aquat
It's
is
like, I'm here for a scrap, and then gets murdered.
basically. The Aquat is going to bite her again.
Some more. No!
It
Echo! Control yourself!
I'm doing what the monster would do.
No.
It has advantage. It rolled a 4 and a 5. That's a 15 to hit. Lilith's AC is a 19, even though
Fuck
she's
me,
paralyzed.
dude! I'm over here pissing my chair.
It's now Mindy's turn.
I did have a question. Are they full up on this side? Like, is there room to budge up?
There's no more room for anybody here. It's
Okay. I was wondering, so it's like 15 feet long.
yes. Mindy runs up to Lilith. She's going
Help her.
to cure wounds.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And she says out loud, "We need to get you out of the scrap!" As she casts Cure Wounds. 2nd level. Lilith is restored by 15. She's paralyzed. You just hear her say, "No shit!" Mindy will... Oh, man. She can't really do that.
Can't really.
She's gonna try and pull... She'll just pull Lilith to the middle of the boat.
It's force movement.
Yeah. Mindy will draw her shield and stand. That's it. It's now Lilith's turn. She will make a charisma save.
She's so not
She re-
charismatic.
She recovers from the paralysis,
Oh, thank fuck.
but that's the end of her turn. Oh. It is Lorna's turn.
Uh-huh. How is everybody on the front line looking?
Anscombe looks okay, about half. Mindy looks okay, about half. Bulkrin looks unharmed. Lilith
Okay.
looks near dead.
Yeah. No, okay. So she was as Lorna's like contemplating what to do next and how low she is, she is going to feel free to tell me if this is an action or a bonus action. She's gonna jam her hand in her bag and she's gonna take out that mask. And she's gonna stick it on.
Which mask is this?
A porcelain mask. The mask.
Oh,
the
the
Jack of
soul
Blades.
mask. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a bonus action.
Sure. Worst case scenario. And
Okay.
she's going to. How far away is it from me?
About 30 feet.
Okay, she's gonna go 30 feet. Okay, she's gonna go up 20 feet.
Okay.
That's hoping that it can't snatch her if she's higher up. And she is going to. Yeah, I'm gonna cast. Chill Touch.
Okay, roll your spell attack.
Oh, I'm still afraid of it?
Yep.
Well, my first roll was a 2, so 11 total. I don't think that hits. That's my turn. She has the mask on.
Roll a charisma save.
Uh-oh. Oh no. I should not have... Ugh. 14.
You remain afraid of the Auklet.
Okay. I was thinking, like, I get paralyzed.
It's now Bulkrin's turn, but before Bulkrin can go, the Auklet's going to use a legendary action. It's going to suddenly spin in the water, and its massive tail woof, hits all targets within 5 feet of it. So I need to make attacks. It natural 20s Anscombe.
Stop critting my boy!
I'm not trying to.
Stop it!
Okay. Hold on. I'll just do this with the thing. Damage.
Oclid, more like Oclidiot.
Okay.
Got him.
Acklet gets hit in the face, and it like sends him jarring back. The Acklet hits Anscombe in the face. He falls back, taking 40 points of bludgeoning
Oh
damage.
my god! Jesus!
Mindy.
Fuck this ritual.
Mindy gets hit for 18 points of bludgeoning
He
damage.
said Anscombe looks fine, and now he's almost dead.
Yeah, his face is bloodied. He's just surprised at how hard it hit him.
My
And
boy.
Bulkrin gets critted.
Not the frost, man.
Yep. Bulkrin takes...
Like, stop coming to this lake and summoning us. Fuck you guys.
Bulkrin takes 55 points of damage.
Oh my god, is he okay?
He looks just as fucked up as Anscombe.
Oh,
He's
no.
barely alive.
This is not good.
That's the legendary action. It's now Anscombe's
We're
turn. Anscombe, like,
in a
wipes his
pinch.
face. Right. And he's just seems like he's grit his teeth, and he suddenly seems very angry, which is not a look you see on Anscombe's face often. But he will not be made a fool in front of his father after all of this shit. He stands up, and he thrusts the longsword down on the creature. Natural 20.
Yes!
Okay, he slashes it with the Dragonbone longsword for a big old pile of damage because he can't roll ones. 45 points of damage.
He gave better than he got by 1 point.
He did. Oh my god. Okay.
Holy shit.
With that crit, Anscombe
I'm wildly
stands
aroused.
up, brings the Dragonbone longsword down directly on this Auklet as it finishes its spin. Its tail back behind it. Its huge, eyeless head up towards the side of the boat. Anscombe's blade just... whoosh, and it slashes clean through the head of the creature. Slumping forward, the Auklet is slain. It had
Fuck.
34 hit points and took 45.
Oof. Ugh.
Ugh. Anscombe looks around and he says, "Ugh, is this what it was like every time?" And Mindy just says, "No."
Lorna's gonna descend onto the boat and, like, crouch by Lilith and hand her a potion. Are you okay? I mean, stupid question. Take this.
Been better. She accepts the potion and drinks it, healing for 10. And the Auklet, as it is slain, Bulkrin, who's like jaw is clearly broken. He doesn't say
Oh,
anything. He just reaches
can't.
out towards he throws a net over the body of the auklet and begins pulling it in. And he looks to Mindy and you just hear, "Ugh, ugh," and he like tried to say something. And Mindy just says, "I've got it." And with a nod of appreciation, Bulkrin like slumps back away from the net as Mindy begins pulling the auklet tight up against the side of the boat.
Does he seem tapped for magic? Is he not healing himself?
He just hasn't gotten to it yet, it
Okay,
seems.
because I have one more potion. She would offer it if he couldn't heal himself.
He's beginning the process of like setting his jaw as he sits down.
Just winces the entire time.
Yeah, it
She's
looks
still
real
Lorna.
painful. But that is the end of the combat. You have slain the auklet.
Nice swinging, she says to Anscombe.
Thanks.
Jesus, that fucked us all up.
What do we know anything about these? Bulkrin, after you hear like this horrible
Ugh.
as he casts a healing magic on himself, and he nods as he does, and he says, "Their meat is valuable. Their brains take a high price. Worthy monsters. Dangerous. Good catch." He actually, like, now that he's fixed his jaw, and he's looking at the auklet in two pieces hanging off the side of the boat, he seems pleased.
Lorna doesn't understand, but she just nods. Oh, she'll take the porcelain mask off and stick it in her bag.
Lilith, like, looks at the thing, like, and she looks like she wants to kick it. She just says, "I hated it."
Yeah, it kind of struck a fear in me that made it hard to focus.
Yeah, same. And Mindy, who has, like, pulled it up, she says, "They say they're descendants of Aboleth, if you know what those are."
Does Lorna? I imagine she probably does.
Roll Arcana to see how much you know.
Sure. I hope it's a lot so she can, like, textbook dump on them. That's 15.
Yeah, with a 15, you know plenty about Aboleth. You know that they're, like, deep-sea living creatures that are immensely intelligent, and they have psychic, psionic powers that they use to manipulate people and other creatures to do their bidding. It makes sense to you that this is related to one.
Lorna spends the trip back to shore like she's animatedly explaining Aboleth as much as she knows and as much as she's learned. It's she's passionate about having this knowledge and sharing it, and that shows.
Mindy seems to listen aptly. Bulkrin does not really seem to pay attention, or if he is, he's just paying attention to driving the boat. But as the catamaran resets into the docks and the low shallows where you hear it just settle into place, he says, "I'm going to carve this up. Then, to the Tinkerer. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
This
That was
Kanigi-san
fun.
would have failed without you." He says
She's
that.
trying to imagine him and Mindy doing it by themselves. And yeah.
He's looking at Anscombe when he says that, and
Oh.
Anscombe seems like he kind of puffs his chest out, and he just says, "I'm sure you and your crew would have been okay." And in that moment, a huge, four-winged flying creature
Oh.
lands on top of the house and just...
Oh. Hi, Lisa.
And you hear Tierra in the distance go, "Where are they?" Just like shouting from somewhere in the town. And the enormous four-winged bird just and then lifts off again, flying northward. So you imagine something's going on there.
Okay, I hope she hasn't caused any trouble in town.
What was that?
Tierra the Ranger. It's his friend, so to speak.
That was terrifying.
It's from the Beastland. Not really native to this plane.
Mindy, like, does not seem to comprehend. So, that being said, as the Enquête is hauled up onto the beach, you have a little bit of time before we end the session. Is there any last thing you wish to do?
If Bulkrin doesn't need Mindy for the carving up of this creature, she would ask her to, if she's got a tattoo to Melisandre and needed to have some clerical abilities, she introduce them to the temple to Melisandre in town because she wants to get some information.
Oh, yeah, sure. And she begins to lead you northward into town.
Well, she'd take Anscombe and Lilith if they wanted to come. They obviously don't have to.
When you mentioned going to a temple of Melisandre, Lilith says, "Will they heal us?" And
She'll
Mindy says,
Mindy.
"Oh, sure. Probably. I don't think
They're
there's been
nice,
any,
right?
like, accidents today. Oh, yeah, I mean, they heal everyone if they can."
Well, there you go. Yeah, your face is a little just covered in blood.
Oh, did you notice that?
Well, she's just gonna snap her fingers, Presty, blood's gone.
For a moment, and then, like, sheets of it begin to pour right
that's
down.
still bleeding.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Anscombe and Lilith will follow you. You head towards the Temple of Melisandre, with Mindy leading the way. This is not a perfect representation of the Temple of Melisandre, but it
is a
is
temple.
a temple. It'll do. The Temple of Melisandre is beautiful. You see that over the door is the symbol of Melisandre, a crest of feathers around a golden star. It is incredibly ornately designed. It looks like it was hammered from a single piece of gold. And you can see all the little hammer marks glinting in the light of day. The doors are open, and Mindy says, "Just go on in. I have some things I have to handle, but you know where to find me. I'll probably be out by Bulkrin's."
Thank you.
She nods and waves and then departs. You see all the townsfolk coming in and out of this place.
A party covered in blood.
Yeah.
Enjoying it.
Some people look at you surprised, but some do not seem surprised at all. As you enter, you see there is a number of people wearing, like, solid color block robes that look as though they probably are maybe priests or apprentices or apostles. They look like not full-fledged clerics, but maybe they're studying to be. This temple looks pretty big from the inside. And you see there is, at the far end of the temple, a gleaming, radiant arc of metal that seems to surround the back area behind the altar at the far end, which you recognize as a shrine to Melisandre, the Lifeglow. As you look at it and look in, you see that there is a halfling or a gnome, a very short individual standing near the altar, and they are wearing full plate armor. They're not wearing a helmet, so you see that it is either a halfling or a gnome, you can't really tell from here, woman with red hair and light gray eyes. She looks up at you as you enter. She calls out, "Oh, sorry, the next sermon's not for about an hour." You're all very bloody.
Right. Hey, do you have any healing capabilities?
Of course. Come sit, and she, like, gestures to the front of, like, this massive temple where you see there is not benches, but, like, steps that lead up to the altar. and she's gesturing to them as she begins pulling out all sorts of small spell components.
Are you a cleric of Melisandre?
I am.
Great. Apart from the blood, that we just finished the fish ritual, the Kinney Saurian.
The Kanegi Saurian.
Yes, that
Ah.
we helped.
She smiles at you, and she looks over all of you, and she spreads her hands. And as she does, she says, Lysandra guide you, bless you, and please her.
Did she heal us? She's just saying nice religious-y things.
Oh, Lysandra. No, she's not here, but Melisandre can.
Oh,
And she,
sorry, they sound so similar.
mm,
Lorna looks embarrassed.
she just smiles at you, and like someone would at an ignorant child who asked a silly question.
Which is what happened.
Yeah, she's like, that's nice, dear. And then she
Mhm.
begins the process of casting a spell. She casts Prayer of Healing. So she like sits down next to all of you, and over the next 10 minutes, she like performs this ritual where she touches each of you on the forehead. And as she does, you don't see it on yourself, but you feel a strange warmth pass through you. But you see it on Lilith and Anscombe. As she touches them on the forehead, a glowing radiant star just like spreads out from where she touches them, and all sorts of sparkling light as if fireflies surround them as that happens. You heal for 32 hit points.
Holy shit.
Each of you
Thank
do.
you.
She smiles at you as she finishes the prayer. Of course. If you need more healing, you're welcome to rest here. Otherwise, welcome to the Temple of Melisandre. Welcome to Siren's Respite. You are new here, yes?
Well, two of us.
She looks at Anscombe and she says, someone as changed as you might consider themselves new after all. And Anscombe just doesn't seem to make eye contact. Roll an insight check.
Oh boy. 25.
Hold on.
Is there history there?
Yeah, there definitely is. Anscombe looks ashamed. He's not making eye contact. But that being said, she doesn't look annoyed or bitter. She also doesn't really look judgmental. She looks forgiving. Like she's remembering a slight, but it's
long gone for her.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. First and foremost, could I ask your name?
She smiles and she says, where are my manners? I'm sorry. I am Mira Asgag.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Lorna. I'm part of Anscombe's team, so to speak.
Oh,
Mercenaries.
I know that. I've heard so many things about the strangers that suddenly appeared in town yesterday. It's a small town, everyone talks.
I see. Did they say good things at least?
Well, no one did exaggerate about how pretty you are, that's for sure.
Insight check, is that true?
Roll insight.
I don't know why this woman would lie to me, but
She's talking to you like a mother would a child. Like
a 25.
it's all benevolence. You don't sense any like
She wouldn't like lie to me, but
no.
Lorna's...
She seems to be trying to be in good humor with you.
Lorna looks pleased.
I have heard that perhaps you might be accepting tasks? Or maybe people were just hopeful you would. It's rare that we have true-blooded mercenaries trained by the academy here.
I feel it would probably be on a case-by-case basis. We do have a contract north of here.
Ah, so business, not pleasure.
A little bit of both. I can't see why we can't strike a healthy balance.
Okay. Well, How many days are you staying here in the respite?
Um, she kind of glances at Anscombe. Maybe another day, maybe 2 at most.
She nods. She just says, I understand. I will pass that on to my congregation so that you will not be assailed with odd jobs and requests of moving heavy objects.
That would be lovely. Thank you. I do have perhaps another favor, if you don't mind, extending some of your wisdom and skill.
Of course. I am a high
She
cleric of Melisandre for a reason.
she pulls out the tome and the potion.
Okay. Remind me what these are.
The
So I can find
potion
the
is the
notes.
potion of Sphinx's truth that is cursed by a night hag.
Okay.
The other is a celestial tome found on the Calciax wreck
Right. Okay.
that she couldn't read because she doesn't know celestial.
She looks at the tome. These are the holy texts of Calciox.
Like tenets and histories, that kind of thing.
It would be instructions for one of the Calciox Divine Order of Paladins. So, tenets, oaths, expectations, myths, recipes, those sorts of things.
Lorna just says, great, and tries to mask her disappointment. Because that's useless to her. She would look at Mira and say, would you care to have it? You could potentially pass it on to someone who might have more use for it than I would.
I don't require any new additional tasks in my future. I have plenty on my plate.
Did she just say no?
She did just say no to you.
Oh my god, okay. So, very nicely, a little embarrassed, she just says, okay. She tucks it back in her bag. This is cursed.
Oh. I suggest you don't drink it then.
I didn't plan on it, which is why I checked it to see if there was anything wrong with it before I decided to do so. I was wondering if you might perhaps know how to uncurse it.
I might. Do you know the nature of the curse?
The notes say... Sphinx's truth with the curse upon it. The curse resists being unraveled. So she shakes her head. My identify couldn't perceive the nature of it. I know who or what placed a curse on it.
That would help. What was it?
A night hag.
Oh. I could attempt to cleanse it, but that would require a tithe. For the components for that powerful of a remove curse is expensive.
Do you have any idea what that tithe might be?
I would need 125 gold.
Oh my god. Did you look at my character sheet?
No.
132. Lorna looks like a kicked puppy. And then kind of slyly glances at Anscombe. I mean, I'm just curious, like maybe what you're working with.
I have like 70 gold right now.
I seem like I wanted you to pay for the whole thing.
How much do you want? I can give you like 30.
Yeah, that'll help.
He gives you 30 gold.
Lorna sighs. Hold on. 30. Where does all my gold go? I had so much at one point.
If
she'll hand over.
funds are tight, you could always take a task from the town's bounty board. There's always things to do.
She'll hand over 125.
Okay. As you do, she smiles and thanks you. She holds the vial up in front of herself, and she reaches into her pouch and she pulls out what looks like a blue stone, like a sapphire. It's like a sapphire. It's too dark a blue.
Okay.
And as she does, she holds it tight in her fingertips. She closes her hand around it and vanishes, and radiant light swirls from her fingertips and around the vial. And you watch as that radiant light suddenly darkens in color until she's pulling threads of darkness out of the vial, and her eyes are closed the whole time. I need to roll a spellcasting check for this cleric. Okay. Slowly but surely, the radiant light darkens and darkens until it's like she's pulling a mass of tight black thread out of the vial. The thread keeps coming and coming and coming until she has a handful of this knotted mess of darkness. She pulls them apart quickly, the pile of black corruption in her right hand. She closes her hand around it and crushes it until it is gone. And the vial now looks clear. And she holds it out to you.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Praise be Melisandre.
Praise be to her.
She looks at Lilith and Anscombe like, do you have anything you want to say?
Anscombe shrugs and Lilith just says, thanks for making it not hurt like a bitch.
That did. Yes, that was great.
You're welcome. I wish you all well.
She takes she has the vial and they leave.
Okay. You have an uncursed vial of Sphinx's truth.
As they step out the door of the temple, she'll look at Anscombe and Lilith and say, I think I know what I want to know.
They look at each other and then back at you. Anscombe says, oh, okay, what?
I think she doesn't. I want this to be dramatic. So she's gonna consider it for a moment, will this be a waste? Fuck it, and she drinks it.
Okay, you drink the vial. As you do, you feel like a tingling on your lips. A strange sensation passes through your body. As it does, you cannot help but feel your perceptions drift and wash across the strange pocket of the Shadowfell.
Oh shit.
There's no sign of Lily. You're still in Siren's Respite. You feel the grass under your feet. You feel the wind in your hair. But mentally, you're not there. What do you want to know?
Should she ask it out loud?
Yes?
She asks, what is Hale Turnworth's greatest weakness?
Okay. As you ask that question, the answer slips into your mind. You don't know how you knew this. You get the image of a red tiefling woman. As you see her, you know her name is Dare.
Dare?
Dare. D-A-R-E.
Dare.
She has long, flowing black tresses and horns that wind up in a crown over her head. And as you see her, in her hands you see a quarterstaff. She's holding it up for someone else to take. You can't see who it is, that takes it from her. You can't see anything around her. But as you look at her, you see the quarterstaff taken from her hands, and she smiles. A smile with brilliant white teeth, as if her smile's a little bit too wide. She's speaking to someone. She nods, and her red skin blushes an even brighter red. She closes her eyes, and then she begins to pull off the robe that she's wearing. You know, in that moment, her full name is Dare Renesia. Hail, greatest weakness. And you open your eyes. You're still standing in Siren's Respite.
Lorna just blinks.
As that answer comes to you, that is where we're going to stop tonight's session.
Oh. Did that woman look anything like the master?
No, not at all.
No. Okay, so no familiar relation.
Completely different person.
Uh-huh. Understood. Just happens to also be a tiefling.
Yes.
Gotcha.
As we come to the end of the session, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for playing with me. I hope you had a good time. And to those of you who are at work or at home listening, hi, Pen.
Hi, Payne.
Hi, Emily.
Who's there?
Hi, class. Who's there? Somebody there. All right. Thank you for playing with me, and I wish you have a good night.